Most service-based business owners doing between $1 and $3 million a year think the next $1 million comes from spending more money on ads, and it just doesn't. Our clients here at Presto Media are adding another $1 million in 2026 without dumping more money into Google or Meta ads by pulling 5 levers that ads can't pull for them. And the 5th lever is so simple, you're going to kick yourself for not actually seeing it sooner. Hey, I'm Jordan Harris from Presto Media. We work with service-based business owners doing anything between $1 million and $10 million a year, just helping them grow through digital marketing. And everything I'm walking you through in this video today is stuff we actually help with business owners every single day. So the first lever, and this is the foundation for everything in this video, is that you don't own your audience. So right now, every customer you have, every lead you have ever generated is not really yours. It's living on Google, or it's living on Meta. It's living on Angie's or HomeAdvisor or wherever else you got that lead from. So you're just essentially renting attention from platforms that can change the rules just whatever they want. And the day they do, your lead flow will drop and there's nothing you can do about it. Email is the only marketing channel where you own the relationship. So there's no platform between you and the customer. There's no algorithm to fight, no bid to win. And here's the part that should bother you the most. Your past customers are going to convert 5 to 8 times higher than cold leads because they already trust you. They've already paid you money. You've already done work for them. So while you're out there spending money on chasing strangers, the most valuable customers you have are sitting in your QuickBooks or in your Google Docs or in your Google Sales spreadsheets doing absolutely nothing. They're not buying from you again. They're not sending you referrals that they'd probably happy to send you in the first place if you actually gave them a reason to. So most service-based business owners we work with, usually doing between 1 and 5 million a year, are sitting on a list of anywhere from like 500 past customers to like, 10,000. And none of them actually been emailed. So they're sitting in a CRM, they're not getting touched, or they're sitting in an Excel sheet, and it's just sitting in invoices and old text threads or your phone contacts. Like, it's just sitting there. And that list is probably the most valuable asset in your business. And most owners are just treating it like it's a filing cabinet that they'll never touch again. So here's the shift in thinking that changes everything for you. Most business owners think marketing means chasing strangers. So it means new customers, cold leads. But the smart play is actually opposite. You warm up the people you already know, because the most expensive part of marketing is getting somebody to actually trust you in the first place. And this is already done with the people you've done business with. They paid you, they've seen your work, they told your wife about you. 1 email a month on a list will outperform $2,000 a month in ad spend aimed at strangers every single time. So what you need to do is go through and pull out every customer email you have. Go in your QuickBooks, your CRM, your invoicing software, your phone contacts, wherever they live, go get them. Then drop them into one tool like a Go High Level, a MailChimp, or Klaviyo. Doesn't matter. Just pick one and put them all in one place. Then you're going to send them monthly. Doesn't have to be design fancy. Doesn't have to be like fancy anything. Just a plain text email from you talking to your customers like a person. That's it. Tag them by service type so you can segment them later down the road. And different customers care about different things. So when you segment these lists, it lets you talk to each group about what's actually relevant to them. And then when you send the email, talk like a human being. A job you just finished, a tip, a seasonal reminder, referral, ask, whatever. That's the whole game with email marketing. Let me give you a real example. This one's a roofer, but the playbook works for any service business owner that has past customers because the math is the same, right? So we got a roofing client, had about 1,800 past customers sitting in their system, basically doing nothing. Never been emailed, never been touched. So what we did was pull the list, drop it into a simple email tool. I think we did Go High Level. We ran 1 referral campaign. They repeated over and over again for about 2 to 3 months, about once a week. The offer is pretty straightforward. We said, refer somebody. If they decide to get a new roof with us, you get $250. That's it. Send it out, follow up twice over 60 days. And that one campaign closed over $100,000 in roofing jobs. So $0 in ad spend. The list was already there. He just hadn't been talking to the customers. Here's the truth. If you've been in business for 5 years and you don't have an email list, you're sitting on the most valuable asset you own and pretending that it's not even there. Because your next million isn't hiding in a new ad campaign. It's hiding in a list that you already have. You just have to actually start using it. Now, here's the catch. Building the list is step 1. But a list alone doesn't actually pay you. I've watched business owners build thousands and thousands of past customers on an email list and never make $1 from them because they don't know what to actually send. The list is the actual fuel, but you need a spark to light it on fire. And what I'm about to walk you through is the exact campaign our roofing client ran that turned a sleeping list into $100,000 in 60 days. Miss this next part, and the list you just built will sit there doing the same thing it's doing right now, which is absolutely nothing. The second lever, and this is the most frustrating one because business owners completely miss the play, is that you don't have a real referral system. You have what we call referral luck. There's a massive difference. Referral luck means jobs come in when someone happens to mention you at a barbecue or the grocery store or wherever. A referral system means you control when the referrals come, how many come, and what they're actually worth to you. Most service businesses are sitting at 60, 70, sometimes 80% referral revenue and treating the most valuable channel they have like it's an accident. Here's why this one hurts so much. If 70% of your business comes from referrals and you're doing nothing to actively generate them, that means 70% of your revenue is sitting in the hands of other people. People who are like you, yeah. People who'd refer you, sure, but they're not thinking about you every day. They've got their own lives, their own businesses, their own jobs, their own kids, their own families, their own everything. So the referrals you should be getting, well, they're forgotten, right? They're going to your competitors or worse. Probably your past customer needs the same service done again, and they end up Googling somebody else because you weren't top of mind. A real referral campaign is three things. It's going to be an offer, a deadline, and a list. That's it. The offer gives your past customer a reason to actually act. The deadline gives them a window so they don't put it off forever. The list is the fuel from the first lever, right? The people who actually already trusted you. When you combine those three things and you don't have referral luck anymore, right? You have a referral machine that turns on whenever you flip the switch. So your past customers are not embarrassed to refer you. They just need you to ask in a way that makes it easier for them to say yes. Now, here's how you do it. You pick an offer, something with real perceived value. So like the $250 referral payout we did with our roofer. You can use a gift card, a service add-on, a discount on the next job, whatever. It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to feel like, hey, we're really saying thank you. Then set a deadline, maybe 2 to 4 weeks max, because without this window, nobody's going to actually act. But when you do have a window, it's going to create that urgency. They're going to go, oh, I should mention this to so-and-so, or I'm going to text this to my buddy right now. Then when you send it as a story, not a sales pitch. Be like, hey, we're trying to grow without raising our prices in our business. Here's what we're doing for anyone you send our way this month. Talk to them like a person, not like some random marketer trying to sell them something. Then send a follow-up halfway through the window and last chance at the very end. Most of your referrals will come from the last two emails, not the first one. And then track who refers and thank them publicly. Send a personal note, drop them a gift card, mention them by the first name in your next email. Public recognition is what turns a one-time referrer into a lifetime referrer. And just to bring it into full circle, that roofing client I told you about, that was just one campaign. So we had one offer, $250 per closed referral, one window, two follow-ups, $100,000 roofing jobs, 60 days, zero ad spend. That list was the fuel. The campaign is what actually lit it on fire. Now, here's the truth. Your past customers want to actually refer you. They generally do. They really do. But they're not going to do it on their own schedule. You have to give them a reason. You have to give them a window, a way to actually do it. That's not a marketing trick. That's just how human beings actually work. The business owners adding another million next year aren't getting more referrals because they're better at their craft. They're getting more referrals because they actually have a system. Now, the first and second lever are the foundation, the list and the campaign that activates it. But here's where I'm going to tell you something that might change how you think about marketing entirely. And you can have the best email list, the best referral campaigns, the best ads running on Google and Meta, and still get crickets to your business. Now, why is this? Because of the next one. And this is one of the biggest levers on the list. It's the multiplier that makes everything else work. Your ads, your emails, your referrals, your reviews, even the way your team answers the phone. And if you get this wrong, the other four will never give you what they're capable of actually giving you, right? So get it right, and every dollar you spend on marketing for the rest of your career works harder. This is one I'd fix first if I only had to fix one in this whole video. The third lever, and the one that quietly costs business owners more money than any other list, is your messaging. The way you talk about your business to your customers, the way you describe what you do, the reason you give a customer for picking you over 12 other companies in the area they're trying to call. And here's the brutal truth about it all. Most service businesses sound exactly the same. They'll say things like, we do quality work. We're family owned. We've been in business 20 years. We treat your home like our own. Every single competitor in your market is saying the same words as you, which means in your customer's mind, you are interchangeable. And when you're interchangeable, you compete on price. Now, let me describe what this lever, when it leaks, feels like in your business, because you're already feeling it. You just might not know that there's a name to it, right? So you're getting calls, but the customer's first question is, hey, what's your price? You're getting leads, but they're shopping you against 3 other companies. You're closing jobs, but you're winning because you had to be the cheapest option and not the best. So you're working harder than ever, right? Your margins are just continuing to get thin. And the only way you know how to grow is to get more jobs at lower prices, right? And that's the cost of just bad messaging. It's not that you're not good enough. You are good enough, right? The problem is the customers can't tell the difference between you and the next person on Google because you're saying the same exact thing. So here's what messaging actually is. And most business owners obviously get this wrong. Messaging isn't a tagline, okay? It's not a slogan, it's not a font choice or color palette on your website. Messaging is the answer to one specific question. Why should this customer pick you over 12 other companies that they could call today? I mean, that's it. You're answering that question. And the answer can't just be, hey, our services, right? It can't be our years in business. It can't be how nice your trucks look. The answer has to be your customer's outcome. What does their life look like after they hire you? Because that's the only thing that they actually care about. Customers don't buy roofing. They buy a roof that won't leak when their kids are sleeping under it. They don't buy fencing. They buy a privacy from their neighbor that they don't trust, or they don't buy an HVAC, right? They buy a house that's comfortable for the family that they love. The business owners who win in any market aren't the ones with the best service. They're the ones who can talk about the service in a way that makes the customer feel seen. So here's how you begin to fix your messaging. First, I want you to write down the top 3 reasons your best customers say they hired you. And don't guess. Actually call 5 of them this week and ask the question and tell them like, hey, be honest with me. What made you pick us over the other guys? And the answer you're going to find is going to surprise you. Then find the one reason no competitor in your market is claiming. Look at their websites, look at their ads, look at their Google profiles. The reason that's true for you and emptying the market, that's your messaging. Now make that reason the headline of your website. So the first line of your ads, the voicemail, if you can't answer the phone, which you should be answering the phone, the signature of your email, the thing you say first when you walk into a customer's house, run it everywhere, every channel, every touch point for 90 days before you change anything. Most business owners change their messaging every 30 days because they get bored with it. Customers don't get bored. Customers don't see your message until the 7th time. So patience here is the whole game when it comes to fixing your messaging. And then you want to train your team say the same things the same way you do. If your messaging only lives in your head, it dies the second somebody else picks up the phone. Now, let me be straight with you. If you don't fix your messaging now, you're going to continue to just go out of business because you're going to be competing on price and you're going to be losing your profit margins, right? And you're just going to go insane and end up having to go work for your competitors because you're out of business, right? So that's something you need to fix first. Well, here at Presto Media, that's exactly what we do. We'll sit down with business owners and sometimes 2 or 3 hours and pull apart what actually makes them different from every other competitor in their market. Then we rebuild their messaging across their website, their ads, their sales process, their voicemail, everything. Every place a customer touches them online, that sounds bad, they stop sounding like everybody else and they stop competing on price. And if that's something you want help with, book a call below. You'll see a link and we'll hop on a Zoom call for 30 minutes, dig into it and help you fix it. Call's free. Hop in, click below. Now, let's get back to the video. Like I said before, the truth is messaging is the difference between being a vendor and being a choice. And vendors are always going to compete on price. They're going to get beat down on every quote. You're going to have to work twice as hard for half the margin. Your choices will get to command the price that you want and the price that you deserve as a great business. They're going to get hired before every customer calls from the competitor and you go compete on price again, right? So same business, same service, same craft, just different messaging. That's the whole game. Now, even with the best messaging in the world, there's one more thing that makes or break whether a customer picks you. And it's sometimes on your website, sometimes in your ads, but it's something you actually can't control directly. It's what other people are saying about you in public for every future customer to see. And this is going to be the 4th lever. The most business owners think they're doing fine on this one. And I'm telling you right now, you're probably not. So the 4th lever, and the one that's silently deciding whether customers call you in the first place, is your reviews. And specifically your review system. Because here's the difference. Most business owners ask for reviews when they remember, right? They're like, oh, do you mind leaving us a review? Maybe after a job really goes well or service gets done. maybe when a customer compliments them, maybe when their wife reminds them, right? The business owner who wins on reviews, though, they ask every single time with a system. Same script, same timing, same follow-ups, every job, every customer, no exceptions. Here's what reviews actually do for you. And most business owners just massively underestimate this. When a customer goes to Google a company in your market, right? They don't read your website. They typically don't even look at your ads that much. They scroll straight to the reviews. Same thing we do with products like on Amazon. How many have you have? What rating you got? How recent are they? Is the first 10 seconds you look at it and you look at a competitor side by side, they're making the decision based on those three numbers, right? So not your craft, not years in business, not your story, right? Three numbers. So if your competitor down the road has 240 reviews at a 4.8 and you've got 32 reviews at a 4.7, they're not even going to call you. You're losing the job before you knew you're even in the running. That's not bad luck. That's just bad math. And the worst part of it is you've probably done 1,000 great jobs you should have turned into reviews and just never did. And every one of those is a future customer that you're never going to meet. Now, reviews aren't a marketing tactic. They're a sales asset that's going to compound over time. So every review you get today is going to help you close jobs 5 years from now. They don't expire. They don't get tired. They don't take vacations. They sit on Google or your website working for you 24 hours a day, telling every future customer that picking you was the right call. The business owners who treat reviews like a system and not just hoping, right, build a moat that competitors can't catch up to. Because you can't fake review volume. You can't fake recency. You have to do the work and ask every single time. So here's how you build a review system. So when you finish the job and it's complete, you're done. Right then and there, you need to have a way to text, QR code, email, whatever. And in your quality control step of like reviewing everything you've done, or if it's, if you're like a contractor, you finish a job, or maybe your cleaning service you just finished, whatever it is, be like, hey, do you mind leaving us your feedback? Tell people about our business, since they're happy, right? And while I'm finishing checking everything out, right? Making sure everything's good. Have the QR code there, text them immediately, have them do it before you leave. If they choose not to, or they're like, I don't really want to right now, or I don't have my phone with me, whatever, that's when you send a follow-up with a text, within 48 hours later, asking for their feedback right on Google. When you do this consistently and you ask, I promise you your review velocity, which impacts like your SEO and rankings on the maps, will increase exponentially and you'll outdo your competitors. And then when they actually send a review, respond within 24 hours. Because that's also helpful for Google. And of course, don't keyword stuff it like some people talk about where you try to nitpick every little keyword in there, but do mention the service that you did, do respond to the actual things that they said about you, and then just put in there like what service you did and location they're at. I promise you, if you respond to all your positive reviews and you respond to all your negative reviews and do it in a calm, professional manner, every bad review is going to be worth 10 5-star reviews. So here's the truth about reviews. They don't just bring you new customers. They tell every customer you already have that they're going to make the right choice going with your company. So every 5-star review is a current customer reading it and feeling smarter for actually hiring you as a company. That's loyalty, that's referrals, that's a compound effect that makes a business unkillable. All right, last one. And this is the one I told you to stick around for at the very beginning of this video. This one's so simple. You're going to kick yourself for not actually seeing it sooner. The one that almost every business owner doing between 1 and 3 million a year is bleeding money on right now, and they just don't even know about it. And if you fix this one thing in this entire list, this is the one that's going to make you that money, because this is the leak that turns leads into money or leads into nothing at all, lost jobs and lost money on marketing. And it happens every single time the phone rings. And the fifth lever is how you answer your phone. The 60 seconds between when a customer dials your number and when they hang up, that's where the leak is. Because here's what's happened with business owners doing between 1 and 3 million a year. You or your spouse, or your office manager, or some junior team member pick up the phone. They say, hello, this is so-and-so company. And then you let the customer drive the conversation. They ask what your price is, and you give them an answer. And then they say, oh, we'll think about it. They hang up, you go back to work, and then that was the lead, right? That's the one your ad costs $80 or $150 or $300 to generate just to walk out the door, right? And never even become an opportunity. That's the leak. And you're losing leads every single day because of this. Now, let me make this real for you. You're spending money on advertising. You're spending money on Google or Meta ads. You're paying for SEO. You got a good website built. You're sending emails. You're getting referrals. And every single one of these channels you have has one job, and that's to get the phone to ring. That's it. And so then the phone actually rings. And what happens in the next 60 seconds decides whether all the marketing money was actually worth a damn thing or not. because the hardest, most expensive part of marketing is getting somebody to pick up the phone and actually call you. And most business owners are throwing that lead away because they don't have a process for what you do when the phone actually rings. You can run the best meta ad campaigns in the world. You can have the perfect messaging in the world. You can have 500 reviews. But if your team picks up the phone and says, yeah, what's your address? With no qualifying, no text, no next step, no booking, you're just pouring water in a bucket with a hole in it. And that's the leak between marketing and sales. And it's the one that ads literally cannot fix. Here's what we really see happen on every inbound call. The customer's making 3 decisions in the first 60 seconds. Okay. They're going to decide whether they trust you, whether you can solve their problem, and whether they want to take the next step with you. That's it. 3 decisions. And most calls fail one of these 3. Okay. And usually it's all 3 when we listen to them. And the fix isn't to hire some sales closer, right? The fix isn't to send your teams to like some sales seminar. The fix is to write down a documented system, an actual script, a flow, a set of questions that anyone on your team can actually run, that you can train them on. Because here's the part nobody tells you. How you answer the phone isn't a sales skill, it's a system. And systems can be repeatable. Sales skills walk out the door before your team member quits, and a system stays. So you want to start this process, this system, by creating a 5-question qualifying script. Okay, the same 5 questions on every call every single time. So an idea of what this would look like would be like, hey, what's the project you're working on? When do you need it done? What's your budget range? Have you ever worked with a company like ours before? What's the next best step for you? Okay, those are just ideas of general qualifying questions. But then you want to open every call with the customer's outcome, not your services, not what kind of fence are you looking for. Instead, you're going to be like, hey, tell me what you're trying to get done at your property. Because that one shift changes the entire conversation and how they open up to you. Then you want to have one specific next step for them. That could be based on how they qualify to book an estimate or do an on-site visit or schedule a callback. Never end a call without a next step. Don't have them say, I'll think about it, because that's not a next step. That's just a polite, nah, we're going to go with somebody else. And then record your calls with consent, obviously, and review them weekly. Find the moments where leads go cold on a call. And then those are moments that you can coach, okay? The leak they can hear is the leak you can actually fix. And that's why you record your calls. And then train every team member who touches the phone to run the same process. So the same script, same questions, same close. And if your phone process only lives in your head, it dies the second somebody else answers the phone. I told you this is the one I'd fix first if I could fix only one thing in all these levers. The other 4 levers, your email list, your referral campaign, your messaging, your reviews, they all take weeks or months to compound. They're all absolutely worth doing. They're all going to add another $1 million in your business. But how you answer the phone, that's a 1-week fix. You can write a script this weekend. You can train your team Monday morning. And by Friday, your close rate on every lead is already going to go up. You don't need more leads to add another $1 million, right? You need to stop losing the ones that are actually giving you a call and you're paying marketing for. That's why it's the highest return on investment thing on the list in this video. And that's why it's the one that almost nobody fixes, because it's not a sexy thing. It's not new or exciting. It's not this new lead gen hack to get more leads in the door. It's just a thing that quietly determines whether all other marketing was worth doing in the first place. So imagine knowing exactly what to say every time the phone rings to move a stranger from a cold call into a booked estimate, right? And then imagine your office manager, your spouse, your junior tech, anybody, whoever's picking up the phone and running that same conversation that turns a lead into an actual customer. That's not a sales skill, remember? That's a system. And that's going to be the difference between a business that scales, a business that just stays busy. So if you need help pulling those 5 levers for your business because you're paying for marketing and advertising and you don't want to see those dollars go to waste and you want to increase and add that $1 million a year, click the link below. Let's book a strategy call. And on that call, we're going to dig into your business to help fix all those levers, right? Plus understand what's going on with your current ad campaigns to see how we can pull every dollar out of it, get the highest return on investment, build a strategy for your business so you can grow in 2026 and beyond.